Dewinter!
I was here 1 month ago, standing here in Whitehall to speak to you, and I was very pleased and honored that Rahim asked me to come back and to stand with you once again today, because the British government jailed Tommy Robinson, and today the same government is boycotting my good friend and Dutch Member of Parliament, Geert Wilders. This is once again an attempt to pander the Muslim agenda and to silence the people. Today, whatever happens, we will be heard. We will not bend for the anti-free speech, Sharia sympathetic totalitarianism of the UK government. Dear friends, we must break the silence. Tommy Robinson, but also Geert Wilders, are silenced because they tell the unconcealed truth about the failure of multiculturalism. Tommy Robinson is persecuted because he drew attention to Muslim grooming gangs and rape squads. He's locked up because he speaks up about the true nature of Islam. Dear friends, freedom of speech isn't some luxury that can be set aside by the first hint of offensive taken by religious groups. Freedom of speech is the keystone of our Western civilization. Without freedom of speech, our European civilization will collapse. And dear friends, by locking up an Islam-critical activist such as Tommy Robinson behind bars, we bend and fold for undemocratic Islam. And it's the British government with Theresa May, who is collaborating with the enemy. And the enemy, my friends, is Islam. The enemy is Islam because the Quran is a military manual to wage war against the West. The Quran is a license to kill. And dear friends, by silencing Tommy Robinson, the political elites behave like dhimmis. They are already submitting to Islam and imposing Sharia law. Together with Tommy Robinson, we have to organize the resistance to prevent the Islamic hostile takeover of the West. Dear friends, Islam does not tolerate freedom of speech. In Islamic culture, there is no such thing as freedom of choice. Criticism towards Islam is immediately regarded as blasphemy. Islam is a fundamental negation of humanism and enlightenment, hallmarks of our Western civilization. And we have to stop together with Tommy Robinson the Islamization of Europe, because freedom ends where Islam begins. Dear friends, mass immigration has become the Trojan horse of Islam in Europe. And yesterday, President Donald Trump, the President of the United States of America, said in an interview to the British newspaper The Sun, and I quote, "Europe is losing his culture due to mass immigration." Donald Trump is right. And that's the reason, my friends, why we stand today here in London, yesterday in Brussels and in other capitals of Europe, with Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is saying what European political leaders don't dare to say. Our enemy is Islam. We have to stop mass immigration. Dear friends, restrictive laws are used in several countries, also in my country, to silence people like Tommy Robinson that criticize Islam. Fundamental freedoms are curtailed, not to protect our countries from the threat of Muslim fundamentalism and terrorism, but to tackle so-called racists. We are no racists, we are realists. And because we are realists, we will never tolerate Islamic colonization of Europe. Dear friends, let me conclude. When you tear out a man's tongue, you are not proving him a liar. You are only telling the world that you fear what he might say. Tommy Robinson, for me and for all of you, and lots of common people here in Britain and Europe and all over the world, is a modern Braveheart, not a right-wing hooligan, but a civil right hero. And there is Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson. Dear friends, there is only one response to the prosecution, the intimidation and the silencing. Organize together with Tommy Robinson the resistance and fight back, because we will never be silenced. We will not bend. We will never, never, never give in. Defend the freedom of speech. Defend Great Britain. Defend Europe. Free Tommy Robinson. Thank you.
Unfortunately, while our Belgian friend was here on stage, Belgium scored a goal. Oh dear. It's all right, Filip. We're all friends here. We have, as you know, been organizing this event for the past few weeks. It's been very stressful because they've tried to scupper us at every turn. No, you can't have a screen. No, you may not be down the road where you normally are. No, we're going to close off all the roads, etc., etc. And for that reason, I just want to thank all of the organizers here today. I want to thank all of our volunteer stewards out there in the high-vis jackets, and I want you to thank them as well. I want to thank the ordinary police out here who are just doing what they're supposed to do. No thanks to their superiors who have made it very awful for us, by the way, but there you go. I want to thank all of our security guys here behind me on stage as well. And one of the other things that they did, that the state did to try and scupper this event, was tell Geert Wilders, a man who has consistent threats against his life by radical Islamic terrorists, they told him that he may not bring his own armed security this time, and they told him that they would not provide any diplomatic British police protection, which means armed protection this time. I mean, you can't make it up. But I spoke to Geert and his team earlier this week, and he wanted to send his regards. So We've got a great video message. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Geert Wilders!
Hello, England. How are you today? Mrs. May, your Prime Minister, prevented me to come to London today. She probably didn't like my speech last time. Shame on you, Mrs. May. But here I am anyway. And I'm honored to speak to you again. You are all heroes. And let me ask you, can Tommy count on you? Of course, I know he can. We will never let Tommy down. Free Tommy Robinson. And shame on you, Mrs. Theresa May. You did not act against the massive rape of young English girls. You allowed Tommy Robinson to be imprisoned. Your government betrayed our daughters. Your government betrayed our trust. Your government betrayed the people. And worst of all, Mrs. Theresa May, your government betrayed Tommy Robinson. So my friends, I ask you, is this how you want your country to be governed? You heard us, Mrs. May. We do not betray our own people because we are different than you. We are loyal to our people. We are loyal to our country. And we care about our children, our daughters. My friends, Tommy did not deserve jail. Tommy deserved a medal. He deserved a medal. He did what the media failed to do. He did what the British government should have done. He exposed child rapists. He fought for our children, but the establishment wants to silence him because the establishment wants to silence all of us. So my friends, I ask you, will we ever be silenced? No, never. We will never be silenced. And we are here today to show it. Free Tommy Robinson. My friends, a few meters from here are the cabinet war rooms. And it is there that the great Winston Churchill said, "We shall not flag or fail. We shall go on to the end." My friends, what a leader. That is the kind of leaders we need. Men like Churchill, men like Tommy Robinson. Men who have made Britain great. They are the pride of this nation. You are the pride of this nation. And that is why it's an honor to speak here in front of you. And around the corner is Downing Street 10. And who deserves to live in Downing Street 10? Mrs. May or Tommy Robinson? And who deserves to be the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom? Theresa May or Tommy Robinson? My friends, all over Western Europe, our governments are turning our countries into provinces of the Middle East and Africa. They have opened our borders to mass immigration and Islamization. We are losing our country, our culture, our identity, our freedom, and our children are no longer safe. And now they have started jailing those who object. Who? Who do they think we are? And I will tell them who we are. We are Tommy's band of brothers. Resistance is our middle name. Don't tread on us. We go on until we get what we want, until victory is ours, until Tommy Robinson is free again, until our country is ours again. Send us victorious. We drive forward as one. And if Tommy is not released, we will be back in ever larger numbers for all over the land, all over the world. Our demand will be heard. Free Tommy Robinson, and free him now. And here is our message to the peoples of Europe. Do not despair. The darkest hour is just before dawn. And it is almost dawn. We are going to reclaim our countries. And here, my friends, is our message to Tommy Robinson, to Tommy himself. Tommy, if you hear us, if you see a video perhaps of this event, know this. On behalf of millions of people all over the world, on behalf of the thousands of freedom fighters gathered here today, we say, Tommy, we will never abandon you. We will always be here for you. We will not rest until you are a free man again, Tommy, until you are reunited with your family, until you, as a matter of fact, Tommy Robinson, until you are leading the freedom movement of Britain again. Long live Tommy Robinson. Thank you, my friends.
This is how legends are made, like a titan that's rising.
I know it's hot out there.